Meeting of the Town Plan and Zoning Commission for the Town of Fairfield. First item on the agenda are bills and communications, the meeting minutes from June 12th, 2018. These were circulated by email.
So moved.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Francis.
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner McAleese. Any comments? Nope. I didn't see any changes either. Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? All right, carries unanimously. I guess, do I have to say who's sitting for who? Or?
There's 6 of you. Obviously, Freda is sitting. You don't have to designate who she's
Very
sitting for. There's only 6 of you here, so you're all...
We're all on everything.
And I
Fantastic.
should note, for the record, that Freda did communicate she did watch the video of the last meeting of June 12th, so she's available to vote on the old business items.
Good, fully up to speed. Next is new applications to recommend a public hearing. First is 449 Mill Plain Road, re-subdivision application of the Sturgis Cottage LLC for 2 lots in an R2 zone.
I don't have anything to add. This, if you're familiar with the Sturgis Cottage, they have got a carriage house that's got an apartment in it on the property. They're just looking to create 2 separate lots for those structures.
Very good. Public hearing is required.
It is
It's a
required.
Re-subdivision.
Yep.
A motion by Commissioner Noonan,
Second.
second by McAleese. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Move to public hearing unanimously. Next is 1427, 1443 Kings Highway, special permit application of John and Timothy Philbin for a mixed-use commercial and residential building in the Design Commercial District, the Commerce Drive District.
This is a site that you've previously seen an application for a 24-unit 8-30G application. They are rethinking that proposal and coming in with an alternative plan for a 2-story building with some commercial on the first floor and 4 units on the second floor. So it's a brand new application, but the same site from a development you've previously seen.
Okay?
Move to approve, accept.
Okay, motion, move to public hearing by Commissioner Francis,
Second.
second by Noonan. Any further discussion? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Move to public hearing unanimously. Next is 65 Station Street, special permit application of SF Station Street LLC for a new commercial building in the Neighborhood Design District.
This is also an application that you saw several months ago at public hearing, but was withdrawn before the commission deliberated on it. They've made some revisions and have presented a new application that does require a public hearing.
Very good. Motion to move to public hearing by Commissioner McAleese.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Francis. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Move to public hearing unanimously. Next is the zoning regulation amendment by the Affordable Housing Committee, Town of Fairfield, to amend Section 2.36 to establish an inclusionary zoning fee.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, we did include the text that's here. You may know that several months ago that the RTM has approved an ordinance establishing a housing trust fund to fund future affordable housing or land acquisition or future affordable housing projects. One of the ways to potentially fund that trust fund is to provide for an inclusionary housing fee. It would be based on the value of construction. It's proposed to be an amendment to our regulations as authorized by the statute to allow, I think they're proposing $5 per $1,000 value for construction for most construction projects to help fund that housing trust fund.
Okay, very good.
But as of course, that's a zoning regulation amendment, it does require a public hearing.
Right. And will we get more materials in the, besides the...
Yeah, you'll have a presentation by the Affordable Housing Committee. We'll provide you with the ordinance. We may have done so, it's been probably 5-6 months, but we can certainly get you background on the ordinance and why this is being proposed.
Yep, very good. Okay. Public hearing is required.
Move to public hearing.
Motion by Commissioner Noonan,
I'll second.
second by McElhaney. Anyone else have any other questions for Mr. Wendt? Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Let's move to public hearing unanimously. Excellent. We're moving right through this agenda.
It's a good thing.
Next is old business. 145 Brookside Drive, request of Brookside Acres LLC for 100% release of a $27,050 bond pertaining to subdivision improvements in an A zone.
Okay, this was a two-lot subdivision approved in 2015. The hearing was on June the 12th for the request. We do have at that time, you had a report in your packet from the engineering department concurring that all the bonded improvements have been completed, and we're recommending 100% release of the bond.
Yep, very good.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve release by Commissioner Noonan,
Second.
second by Commissioner McAleese. Any comments, Commissioner Noonan? Somebody's hunting foxes tonight.
It does sound like it.
Nothing to add beside what staff has represented.
Very good. Dave?
Yep.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, the file is documented, and I agree. It should be released entirely. Okay. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? The bond is released unanimously. Next is 144 Tuller Road, Serenity Lane. A request of 144 Tuller Road Associates LLC for 100% release of a $37,375 bond pertaining to subdivision improvements in the R3 zone.
This was a six-lot subdivision ultimately approved in 2013 off of Tuller Road. It did create a new street known as Serenity Lane. We did have the hearing on the 12th. You do have a report from engineering recommending that, or concurring that all the bonded improvements have been done for the new street. This is the last portion of what was a much more substantial bond. It has been released in a couple of increments. This is the remaining about $37,000 plus, so we recommend its final release.
All right, very good.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Noonan,
Second.
second by McAleese. Anything further to add?
Nothing to add.
Very good. I agree. File is, we have the documentation in the file. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? The bond is released unanimously. Next is compliances, 1720 Post Road, application of 1720 Post Road LLC to convert a portion of an existing third-floor space from residential to office use in the Center Design District.
Mr. Chairman, this building, the Post Road, fronts on the Post Road, backs up to Carter Henry Drive. If you know where Starbucks is, at the point there at the intersection of Oak Plains, immediately adjacent to that building. It was originally approved in 1989 with 2 stories of commercial space, in the third floor being 4 apartment units. There are 14 spaces on the site and a long-term lease for 38 additional spaces along the railroad tracks on Carter Henry Drive for a total of 52 spaces. In 1997, 3 of the 4 residential units were approved by this commission to convert it back to commercial space. This application seeks to convert that remaining 1,000 square feet on the third floor from a single residential unit to office space. That conversion required a relief from the Zoning Board of Appeals for 2 parking spaces from a demand of 2 to 4. That was approved earlier this year by the ZBA based on the inventory of spaces that are generally available amongst those 52 spaces for this building. So there's no exterior changes proposed. It's the remaining 1,000 square feet of the third floor that once had been an apartment looking to convert it to office space.
So with the variance of approval, it is fully compliant with our regulations.
Yes, sir.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Noonan. Second by Commissioner Meyer. Any discussion on this, Commissioner Noonan?
with the representation of staff that it's fully compliant with the zoning board of appeals decision. I see no reason to deny it.
Any other comments? I mean, I reviewed it, I found it, that's why I was just confirming that it was fully compliant.
Yeah,
I didn't see any.
it's certainly compliant. It's just odd that, you know, we're trying to get all this housing downtown and near Metro, and it's going the other way. It's odd that nobody wants to rent it, and that
Well, I
nobody
think the
wanted
last
to rent
unit,
the other three.
I think the experience we've seen with property owners is it's tough to have a mix on the same floor. It works.
Yeah, and the
when
other
you-
three are
so
gone.
with the
Yeah.
last remaining unit, it makes it
Yeah.
hard. The units in the brick walk, there's about a half a dozen units in those buildings, and those are those are very highly sought after.
Oh,
units, because
residential.
there's some separation
Yeah,
between those
yeah.
floors. So on the upper
Okay.
floor of, the Joseph A. Bank building, for example, there's
Yeah.
4 units up there that get snapped up as soon as they're available, generally. So, yeah, it's
Unusual.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's unique to this particular building because it's kind of
Yeah, it's
where
a
it is,
very
but-
attractive
but-
building. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Motion is to approve. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Compliance is approved unanimously. Next is 926 Reef Road, coastal site plan application of Tropa Enterprises LLC pertaining to the construction of a two-family dwelling in the B zone.
Okay, this application seeks to construct a new two-family dwelling. The proposal complies in all respects with the B-zone regulations that permit a two-family residence. The coastal site plan is required because the site is within 100 feet of tidal wetlands. These plans were forwarded for review and comment to the DEP. And they found I believe we have a copy of the email that we received from them in your packet, that they find no inconsistencies with state coastal resource management policies. So we therefore recommend its approval. And we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Very good. Thank you. And I have a motion.
Move to approve.
A motion to approve by Commissioner Francis,
Second.
second by Commissioner Noonan. Commissioner Francis?
Yeah, I drove by the site, and it's going to be one of many attractive new homes in that area. There's a lot of building going on. So it should definitely improve the whole street block.
Yeah, well, with respect to the coastal area site plan and compliance with the, the report says there's no inconsistencies, and we have a report in our file from the DEP having reviewed that and also finding no inconsistencies. Yeah, sitting in our review capacity, there's no basis for denial here.
I just have one question.
Yep. Commissioner McAlee.
Just curious about the note on A41, verified depth of peat and fields, size of stone backfill to be decided. Does that have anything to do with the coastal site plan requirements? Is that something that we should put in there as a requirement for approval? Or is that just referring to something
I think
else's?
that's going to be more for the building department. I think more than anything else, they
Okay.
need to do some soil testing before they,
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Anyone else have any comments? Okay, the motion is to approve. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? The coastal site plan is approved unanimously.
Mr. Chairman, before we move to public hearing, I just have 2 quick items that we did not put on the agenda. One is that in our continuing series of community conversations, we have a POCD-related meeting next week on Wednesday, July 18. We left the flyer on your counter regarding sea level rise. This is a joint exercise with the Flood and Erosion Control Board. It's their regularly scheduled meeting. Emmeline has arranged for a speaker from the University of Connecticut to come down and do a presentation about sea level rise, and then we'll have about an hour's worth of public discussion thereafter that will, again, be an additional conversation of public engagement to help inform our POCD efforts. You are certainly welcome to attend. We're hoping that, and I know we heard several meetings ago, we presented a list of topical issues and asked you guys to jump on board if you had specific topic interest in any of those. We've heard from Commissioner Francis with respect to her interest in open space and economic development. We're hoping someone might be interested in sea level rise or this issue, but all of you certainly are welcome to attend. There's an RSVP just so we kind of know kind of a head count, but again, for your information, we're hoping you can attend, and we will certainly inform the full commission, and the presentation that's made will ultimately, I believe, be available for us to post on our POCD link to our website. So,
Right. And as we did last time, would you send this blast out to the TPZ mailing list?
Yeah.
As a PDF? I don't think that, we haven't done that yet, right?
I was away last week. I know the First Selectman's office did they did a press release, and I will coordinate with the Selectman's office to make sure we're not double blasting, but yes, we will certainly do that.
Okay.
Will it be recorded?
We asked Fair TV. They've got there's a Board of Selectmen meeting that day, so they're not going to be there, but we will have access to the presentation that gets made to put up on our website.
Yeah, let's do that. We'll put that up on the website. I'm going to be traveling through July 18th.
Okay.
Vacation for me, so that's why I asked about Fair TV.
Yeah, so if anybody can come, that would be great, and then, but we will certainly be there to help keep that conversation going and inform our further dialogue as we move forward. The only other thing I'll mention just briefly, and I'll follow this up with an email tomorrow.
Just before you get there, for the members of the public that are listening on Fair TV, this is the Plan of Conservation and Development update. It's a symposium on sea level rise, Wednesday, July 18, 2018, and it's from 7 to 9 p.m. at the Penfield Pavilion.
I've got other flyers, but
Talking to
the
the
remaining audience members have left, but we'll do our best to get. We've got
All
some
those
feedback.
people out there.
Yeah,
good.
the shore, the active shore area neighborhood associations are actively engaged in this, and we've got a fair turnout already, so we're hoping to get to them.
Right.
Second, quicker item is, and I'll follow this up with an email tomorrow. Obviously, we're in the summer months, and people have travel plans and so forth. It'd be nice for us to know for future scheduling to know if you're going to have conflicts with the August dates. I had a conversation with the chairman earlier today about that, but we'll get your take on that. We might be, one of the thoughts is to potentially eliminate the August 14th meeting, but I will send an email out to you with the three remaining, the 28th of July and the 2 August dates, just so we have a handle on who might be available and who might not be, just so we can plan accordingly. So look for that tomorrow. That's it.
Very good. Thank you. With that, we'll move to our public hearing tonight. We have one item on the agenda. They're all here in the room. 5550 Congress Street, re-subdivision application of Nancy Perlin for 2 lots in a AAA zone.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Record, my name is John Allen. I'm very pleased to be here tonight representing Martin and Nancy Perlin, who are seated in the front row. Tough to miss in this big crowd. Also with me is Mr. Mike Bertula, who is our engineer with regard to the work. A little background, if I may. The Perlins have owned the property since 1999 and resided there as their residents. They're wonderful people, and they have been absolutely wonderful caretakers to this property. And they hope to continue to reside there and be caretakers to this property for many, many years to come. They have reached a point in their life, however, where they want to provide some flexibility in terms of their primary asset. And even more importantly than that, they have an adult daughter with special needs. She resides with them. You can see if you look at the plan that there is currently, it's labeled an apartment, but it's not really an apartment. It's an accessory structure. It's not been used as a dwelling. It's been used as an accessory structure. But if this subdivision is granted, it will afford an opportunity short-term to renovate that particular building, add a kitchen, a proper bathroom, and give their daughter, who will still be with them, an opportunity for independent living, which she would benefit from greatly. So there's a number of motivations here, but from a purely legal standpoint, it's a totally compliant application, so let me address that. The property is located at 5550 Congress Street. It's in the Residence AAA zone. It's comprised of a total of 202,000 square feet plus. What we propose is a simple re-subdivision, which, as you can see from the plans that Mike prepared, where we will establish an additional building lot. As designated on the plans, you have Lot A, which is where the existing house is and will remain. It will comprise 2.327 acres. And Lot B, the new lot, if you will comprise 2.326 acres. So that obviously the application complies with all your requirements with regard to lot area and the like. We are compliant with all of your subdivision and zoning regulations that are pertinent here. We have submitted, Mr. Bertula's office has submitted a sightline computation that is dated May 2, 2018. Yesterday we all received comments from Laura Pooley. She confirmed the sightline computations as contained in the report. She also had a few other comments. I don't think any of them are at all. We have no problem with any of the comments. This was her email that was in response to what Mr. Wentz sent her on June 7th. I think Mr. Rent has copies of that for you. But her...
Mr. White forgot to make copies.
Do you want, Mr. Chairman, I can get another copy.
That's fine.
If you want to review those or read them, they're very benign, and I would say for the record, the applicant obviously has no concerns or problems with them because there's no problems to raise.
Any trees in the, any town trees being implicated by?
No, not to our knowledge. But if there were, or if we're wrong about that, because we just got this yesterday, obviously we'll follow the proper procedures as she outlined.
Very good. I'm just going to pass this around.
So, in addition, you know, the site is serviced by public water. Our septic design is laid out in the plans, has been reviewed by Health and Engineering Department. Laura's comments speak for themselves on that. And really, that's just the application. Some wonderful folks who've lived on the property for upwards of 20 years, want to stay there, but they do want to take advantage of their right to subdivide the property. The special benefit here will be they have no short-term intention of selling the lot for development, but it will provide an immediate opportunity for them to create a second dwelling on the new lot, which will serve the needs of their daughter.
That's it?
That's it I have, and if you have any questions for Mr. Petula, who's hiding behind the microphone here, he'd be happy to answer them, as would I. Thank you.
Just one
Yes,
question.
Commissioner Francis, thank you. I mean, we can't finish the meeting before 8 o'clock for the evening.
Consider we started late, too.
I mean, you know.
I could tell a story or two.
No, I've heard your stories.
That's probably
That's a
better
wonder.
for another time.
Is this going to be the real driveway? This
Yeah.
Silt one?
Yes.
They're going to make a real one?
Mr. Wendt and Mr. Bertula and I, we focused on that, and that is the driveway. It's got to have that, you know, it's got to have a
For
proper driveway
emergency
for emergency,
yeah, yeah.
you know, so that is the driveway.
Right, gravel.
Yes, gravel,
Yeah.
which is more in keeping with the character of the property.
Right, because
Give
this
us a
one is
moment.
gravel, isn't it, the one
Mm-hmm.
over here?
Listen, I gave all the homework out. I did. I gave all the homework out. Let's just give Mr. Francis a chance to read the memo from Laura Pooley.
Could be a record
It could be.
if we read quickly.
I don't have
Okay,
any other
that's
questions.
fine.
I mean, it seems pretty straightforward.
Yeah, the tree,
So-
the driveway, and the...
Are you finished with that? Then
Yes.
pass that down to, put that in the record. All right. So So we have that, it's in the
We
regular,
have it, I just neglected to make copies to bring it to you.
and put it in the packet. Okay. Very good. All right,
Thank
really, going once here, guys, going twice? All right. We have no further questions.
My wife's not going to believe this.
I know it. Thanks. Any member of the public want to wish to be heard on this item?
Oh, there is none.
There is nobody here to be heard. With that, I will close the public hearing, and I will adjourn the meeting.